a song from the Hunger Games, "Can't Catch Me Now." It's got a pretty interesting finger picking pattern, but it's basic. It's based off this B minor 7, basically, and then you're gonna bar your finger from your A string 2nd fret, playing the B. You're gonna take your 3rd finger and play the F sharp. And then you have your 7th of the chord. If the chord is B, the 7th is going to be one note before it, so A with the bar. So you got your 3rd finger on the F sharp, and you got to really get on the tip of this finger so the underside of your finger doesn't disrupt that G string that's playing the A that your one finger is barring. And if you look at the finger pattern, we're going to call thumb, we're going to label it with the letter P. Okay, and that's just, I believe it's because of the Spanish word for the digit, but that's how all the books label it. The thumb is P, the index is I, the middle is M, and the ring finger is A. And then in some jazz books, the pinky is labeled with the letter C. Okay, and that'll be above the notes, indicating which fingers to use to play it if you're reading music. But here, we're just going to kind of try and get the bar of our B7 chord here, B minor 7. They don't really play the 3rd in there, but you're going to go P, I, P, M, P, I, P, M. And you only do it once for each chord. The next chord is going to be a D major, which is played in this kind of arpeggiated position. It's really just your C chord. If this is your C, according to the chromatic alphabet, you got C sharp would be up here. So if you're moving everything up, you're filling in the gaps, right? So if you're moving these 3 notes up, all the open strings become 1st strings, right? Or 1st frets. Right? So that would be your C sharp, and then this would be the D. And they're kind of just keeping that bar there as they add the pinky. And you're still, the left hand is still just doing P, I, P, M on the A string, D string, A string, G string. The thumb is pretty much always playing that A string. And then when you move to this chord, which seems to be, if you got your B, G, B, F sharp, and A, it could be considered a G, B, D, F. I'm not sure exactly what chord that would be. So it almost seems like a G major chord with the F sharp in there and your G, B, and you're just leaving out the 5th. And it's more common for the 5th to be left out. So we'll just call it a G major 7. And you got the root on there. And when you get to that note, so if you go real slow, you got thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. And then on the 6th string, you add your 2 finger to get that G. And you're still really you're not even really playing that B. You're just still barring this D string and G string with your 1 finger, and you still got your 3rd finger on the F sharp. So, and that's going to be index, middle, P, I, P, M. And there's a little bit of a break, right? So if you're, so it changes up the picking pattern, the rhythm just a little bit. So you got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and, so you got 1 and 2 and 3. I'm not not sure exactly what the rhythm of it is, but it's something like. Let me try and get my hand more in the shot here. Maybe it'd be more appropriately counted in 16th notes, counting 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and that's how you know how to count it, is how it works out evenly, So so again, we'll count it in 16th notes, counting 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4, and we're skipping the 4, and then we're coming in with the E and a. And I think they actually go back to that G string, so E and a, right? And those strings are your 6th string, your thumb, your pink, or the P, the thumb is playing the 6th string, index on the D string, and then thumb on that B, so you are playing that B, so it's on the A string, so thumb on the 6th string, we'll call them 6, 5, 4, and 3. And actually it just goes up to the, to the 3rd, so 6, 5, 4, and 3, so we're going 6, 4, 5, 3, and then a little bit of a break, just a 16th note break, and then you have the 4th string, 5th string, and then 3rd string. So again, let me move the camera a little bit here, get more of my hand in the shot here. So we have, let me see if you can see the fingers a little more if I turn this way. So we have, for these 2 chords, you're just going back and forth from the 5th string, 4th string, 5th string, and 3rd string. Thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle. Okay, so wish I could get both my hands in here. So let me try and sit this way. So you got. Okay, so far we got thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, and now pay attention to which strings we're using here. We're doing thumb, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle. Okay, and that's going to be on the 6, 6, 6, 4, 5. I'm sorry, I'm doing it wrong here. 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3. So you can kind of play it, just kind of loop it. And take it as slow as you need, even if you gotta go. And wish I had a guitar pedal here to kind of hold my foot up here. But anyway, so as you're playing it, we're going from our B minor 7, D major, and then our G major, right? And then it does it 3 times, and on the 3rd time, after you get done with the G major, after you get done with the G major, you go to this So all together, or I'm sorry. I always go to the wrong chord there on the turnaround, but the turnarounds are the most difficult. That's what you want to kind of practice. Once you can kind of repeat it over and over again and keep your fingers on track, then you can kind of safely say that you know it. You know, you got the or I'm sorry. And all you're doing is barring there on the second fret. But for this chord, we're playing an E, a B, and a D. So it seems to be a E7, just without the G sharp. And I guess you would include that F sharp, so you got a B, D, F sharp, and an E in there. Drawing a blank in terms of chords here. You got an E, a B, and a D. B, D. Seems to be an F, a B minor chord, and this E would just be the sixth. You got the B, C, D, E, so forth. So it's kind of like a B minor sus chord. And I'm not sure exactly of the finger pattern here. It's something like... But anyway, the chords are, you know, you got your E, your B, and then your D. And you're just going from, now again, we're just using those same picking patterns, the thumb, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, right? But it's a little bit of a different rhythm. It's not a straight 16th note count. You got 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and okay. So as you're playing it, you know, just try and get used to that first. Just thumb, index, thumb, middle, wait a little bit, and then index, thumb, middle. And again, we're only working with the third string, the fourth string, the third string, and the second string here. And I think they do something like that, like... So you can kind of play around with different finger patterns. What I'm doing is thumb, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, but I'm not sure exactly how they do it. I can't remember. I can't picture the rhythm and the melody in my head, but it's something like that. As long as you know the notes involved, you can, you know, take a deeper listening to it and just make sure that you got the exact finger pattern that they're doing. Now, that's a form of ear training. It's the only reason to really listen to it with that kind of detail. I mean, I could make up, you know, or what is it? You know, it still kind of is in the same timing, and you know, it's just not exactly what they're doing. But so far we have I always I haven't practiced it enough to really kind of position my hands back. But after the, let's see if I can do it. And you notice how if I miss something, I'm not letting it stop me from getting the next note. If you miss something, then you miss it. You're always just thinking about the next note.